Hey everyone, welcome to the Steve Olson Show. My name is Steve Olson. In this show, we document and deliver everything that you need to know to either purchase your home for less with less stress and make everything simple, and also how to sell your home for a record price in record time without all the stress and simplifying the entire process. So if you want to sell your home for a record price in record time, there's really three things that we need to make sure intersect. And if you miss one of these things, then the whole thing kind of falls apart. There is no marketing plan. If you're taking notes and you're really trying to follow along and you're thinking about selling your home in the next couple months and you're really starting to do the research around what you need to do right now to prepare for a record-breaking price in record time, because here's what I'm going to tell you right now. It is a lot less stressful to sell your home quickly with multiple offers than it is to sell it over a long period of time, hoping that we get showings, hoping that we get an offer, not having to do open houses, not having to live out of a suitcase all the time. Like when you sell your home, it is a good thing to have it on the market for about a week, multiple offers and sold right away. Everything gets a lot easier. I don't want you to think, well, Steve, what if I leave money on the table? Things that sell quick, especially with multiple offers, tend to sell for record-breaking prices. But it doesn't happen on accident. And I'm going to give you like a little simple diagram that I walked all of our clients through to help them understand that when we get these three things right, we're going to break a price. Okay, the first thing is I'm going to write down location and condition. Meaning if the condition of your property is in line with the location of where it's located, that's a really good thing. Here's what I mean by that. You never want to be the dumpiest home in the neighborhood. You also never want to be the nicest home in the neighborhood. We want to be probably in that upper third within all of the comps. So in your neighborhood, if everybody's kitchen's remodeled and everybody has white oak floors and everything is white paint and everything is completely remodeled with like brass and gold hardware, like all the current HGTV standards right now, you probably need to bring your home to those standards to break a record price, okay? Now, location-wise, if not a whole lot of stuff is upgraded and the pricing is just kind of in that middle price point, the kitchens are in pretty good shape, and maybe the upgrading time frame is within 10 years, give or take, I don't think it's really going to make sense to put a whole bunch of money into the home from an upgrade perspective to make sure that that home is in the right condition based on the location it's in. Now, remember, we can't change the location of the home when we're selling it. The location is what it is, but we can match the condition of the home with where the location is. This is really important. Now, the most valuable thing about real estate, like if you want to make the most amount of money in real estate going forward, like when you buy your next home, the number one thing that will get you the most amount of equity year over year, over year, over year, over year, over decade, depending on how long you stay, is going to be the location of the home, right? Then the condition of the home, and then some other nuances after that. But the best condition, the best upgraded home in a really, really bad location will never sell for a record price. I want to make sure you and I are super clear on that. When you meet with your real estate agent, you should ask them like, hey, what are some of the upgrades that we need to do that we're actually going to get an ROI on right away based on where we are in the market? And I think what you're going to be shocked on is that most upgrades that people do when they sell their home, like I would never remodel a kitchen before I sell the home. You're never going to get the ROI right away. Now, if the home is a total, I don't want to say tear down, but like it needs a lot of work and you've just never done any work to it and it's way below the standards of the neighborhood, yes, you may want to invest in some of that because you're going to get that. But for the most part, major renovations when selling your home, you'd be surprised. Most of them are going to give you a 1-to-1 return or maybe just a little bit under. And I don't know about you, but when we sell real estate, I really want to make money. So the first thing is do we match the condition of the home with the location that it is? Here's the second thing, is how you price the home. This is where a lot of people get really mixed up, right? The job of a real estate agent is not to tell you what your home is worth. The job of a real estate agent is to come over and tell you how they would use pricing to position your home to attract the most amount of clients, right? I'll give that to you again. A job of a real estate agent is not to price your home based on its current market value right now. The job of a real estate agent is to price the home to attract the most amount of clients in the least amount of time so that you get multiple offers and they drive the price up, right? Pricing is nothing more than a marketing tool. It is not a valuation. If you want a valuation on your home, like you want to know in its current condition and location exactly what it's worth today based on one person's opinion and statistical data analysis, then I would hire an appraisal. That's going to cost you $500, give or take, but they will tell you, hey, based on current condition and what's sold and all that stuff, this is what we believe the home is worth today. Now, I got news for you, and this is good news. A home is not worth what a buyer is willing to pay. A home is only worth what you're willing to sell for. So it doesn't matter what offer that I bring you. If you're not willing to sell at that price, the home is not worth that because it will never trade hands. Now, we could do a whole bunch of marketing and everything that we do. And if the highest price we bring you is 1.16 million at today's value, that's probably what it's worth. It's your decision at that point to whether you want to take that 1.16 million or take it off the market and wait for another day. Okay. So we want to make sure that we use price as a marketing tactic, not a valuation. Now you can see that there's some overlay right here. There's some overlay right here. If you put great condition, you do the upgrades or you invest in curb appeal or painting or staging and all that, and based on the location of the home, and you price it ineffectively, you are making the condition of the home worthless. Like you are erasing all of that effort, right? So the price of the home needs to be in line with the condition of the home. This is really important because if you miss one of these two, all the sales that are going to happen in that little blue area right there, it's not going to happen, right? So this is really important. Don't focus so much on price. So you want to make sure the price matches the condition, because when that happens, that's when the magic happens. When we get the third thing right, and we do this in a very specific time frame, and we get pricing right, and we get the condition right based on the location, when all three of these meet, I think you're going to see some pretty magic stuff happen. And here's what it is. Number 3 is exposure. And what I mean by exposure is, how are we going to get the home that was priced correctly, in the right condition, in front of the right people? And if you guys watched a previous video about the 2 questions that you need to answer when you list your home for sale, who is my buyer and who knows my buyer, you can't answer those questions by getting any one of these 3 wrong, right? So again, you can have an agent that does amazing at Facebook ads and Google ads and direct mail and Instagram ads, and they could give you all the exposure in the world. They could feature it on Zillow. We can do walkthroughs. We can do videos. They can have a YouTube campaign. They can do all of it. But no amount of marketing campaign will overcompensate for a poorly priced home. A poorly priced home will not overcompensate for a great condition home. Meaning, if you position the home in a great, let's say, like I said earlier, you do all of the staging and the curb appeal and the painting and all that fun stuff, very minimal investment to get your home asset ready, which I would call it. If you do all that work, but you have a poor pricing strategy, everything falls apart. If you do all the work and you do an amazing pricing strategy, but you have a terrible exposure marketing plan, everything falls apart. It's only when all these things meet, and let's make this one green, it's only when all these meet that you're going to identify a record-breaking sale, period. We can't do it if any one of these things breaks. It literally doesn't work. So as you're talking with your real estate agent, whether that's us or anybody else, I want you to ask yourself a question. Is the real estate agent and me coming up with a plan to master the condition of the home, the price of the home, and the exposure of the home? If we do that, your home's probably going to break a record in record time. Now, there's another video that we're going to create, and this video is going to talk about how to do this in order and how to do this in such a way that when you do it in order, it creates a buyer frenzy. Because here's what I know to be true. When one person wants to buy your home, they negotiate with you, and the price of that home tends to go down. When we get multiple people that want that home, they tend to negotiate against each other. And as I'm sure you probably figured out, the price tends to go up. So the whole goal when selling real estate, it's really simple. It's not to get the home in the front of the most amount of people in a record amount of time. It's not to get, a really, really good open house in the first weekend. The goal of selling real estate is to get as many people interested in your home at the same time, because they'll negotiate against each other and drive the price of the home up. In fact, if you're thinking about selling your home in the next 51 days or 3 months or 9 months or even next year, there is a really simple guide that I would download if I were you. And I'll put the link in the description below. Just give us your email. The page is going to look exactly like this. And I will give you the entire A to Z process of selling your home for a record price. It's totally free. It's my gift to you. You don't even need to use us as your real estate agent. I just want to make sure you're prepared for everything that you're going to need to know to sell your home for a record price and record time. Because here's what I know to be true. The homes that sell for the record prices, they don't do so on accident. It's not by chance. It's not that one buyer from, Europe or Asia that comes in that doesn't know the market. In fact, statistically speaking, people that don't live in the United States negotiate more than people that live in the United States, right? We hear this all the time in California. Well, I only need one European buyer or one buyer from, Asia or one buyer from China, because they'll come in, they'll fall in love with the house because it's in California, and they'll pay my price. And statistics show that people outside of the states negotiate more than people within the states. The goal is not to find that one lucky person that wants to pay your one lucky price at that one lucky time. The goal for selling real estate is to do it in such an order and in such a process in order so that we get the most amount of people interested in that listing at the most time, because when we get multiple offers, that drives the price up. And it's always easier to sell real estate when multiple people are interested. Here's the last bonus tip I'm going to tell you before I cut you loose for the day. Any home in any market at almost any price point can sell for a record price in record time. It's just positioning, it's just process, and it's just doing it in the right order. So if you're thinking about selling your home, what I would recommend you do, think this process out. Number 2, download our listing guide at this page. Actually go through the right steps in the right order. Position your home as an asset. Do it right, and you're going to watch the buyers come in. The people that don't have success are the ones that go to real estate agents. They say, what's my home worth? And they don't agree. They go to the next real estate agent. What's my home worth? And they keep doing that until they find a real estate agent that agrees with their price. And they say, cool, how quick can we get it on the market? And the real estate agent hurries up and they do photos, and they don't run any ads. It's on the MLS, and you think just because they gave you your price and the photos are good, we should get a really, really good offer right now. And in today's market with high interest rates and higher inventory in most markets, or climbing inventory in most markets, that strategy doesn't work. It worked during the pandemic. It does not work right now. You have to position your home as an asset. If you want to know how to do that, then go to this page. I'll put the link in the comments. You can download it. That will give you everything you need to know. All right. My name is Steve Olson. Thank you so much for joining me. Get these 3 things right, and I promise you, selling your home for a record price is going to be simple. It's going to be easy. It's going to be fast. I love you all. We'll see you on the next one. Talk soon.